Treat yourself to a great career at American Crystal Sugar Company. Team up with quality people making quality products. Full-time and year-round in a stable business. With great pay and benefits including time off available from day one. American Crystal Sugar Company invests in you to promote your continued growth and career advancement. Grow your career doing your best work within the world's best beet sugar company. Apply online today at AmericanCrystalCareers.com.
Hey, welcome here live from the Fargo Dome. We're at the North Dakota High School State Class B, a dual team tournament. And action's already underway here on the Class B side with the Lisbon Broncos taking on the Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks. And currently out there on the map for the Lisbon Broncos is Bowden Greenlee. The Lisbon Broncos coming to this tournament as the #1 seed. And Greenlee currently on top. He's going to let his opponent from Hettinger Scranton up there wrestling here at 182 pounds as we open up our duels. Bowden Greenlee up now 5-0. He's wrestling Tristan Pecos. Bowden Greenlee picking up his 5th state championship, 5-time state champion, 6-time state place winner for the Lisbon Broncos, just a 3rd 5-time state champion for state Class B. And also the state Class B dual team, or dual wins, consecutive dual wins leader. Now Greenlee's going. Another takedown. He's up now 9-2 on Tristan Pecos. And talk about your American Crystal Sugar starting lineup here as Greenlee goes into a inside cradle. He's going to try to get a turn here on Tristan Pecos from Hettinger Scranton. Broncos here wrestling on mat number 9. We also have the state girls duels going on with the state Class A duels here from the Fargo Dome. Had a little technical difficulty getting started there this morning. We're now live streaming audio only today from the Fargo Dome. You can also watch this on Track Wrestling, and your finals will be broadcast on Beck Sports to watch the championship duels. Right now, Greenlee still working that inside cradle, and that time's going to run out in the first period. So it is 11-2 lead for Bowden Greenlee. And that's up on mat number 9. In your American Crystal Sugar lineup here for the Lisbon Broncos. The lineup just a little bit different. Had a few injuries here coming into the state tournament. Also, Cashton Waitson out with an injury, not in the lineup today. As Greenlee tries to stand up, Pecos goes cradle up over the top here. Greenlee gets a 1-point escape, so now it's an 11-2 score. So 11-2 score, 12-2 score. Now Greenlee arm drags around, gets a 2-point takedown. He's up 14-2. Right now has a win by major decision. We're at the minute 34 mark in this match between Greenlee and Tristan Pecos. Greenlee, 170-pound state champion, winning 5 consecutive championships at 5 different weight classes for Bowden Greenlee. Ian Pecos now just tied up center mat. Greenlee goes low, single leg. Going to pick it up, returns Tristan Pecos to the mat for the Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks. Now a 16-3 lead. Greenlee building his lead up here as a 13-point lead. So Bowden Greenlee with that lead for the Lisbon Broncos. Now up 16-4. And Greenlee returns Tristan Pecos back down to the mat. Now his 2-point takedown, now an 18-4 lead. He's up by 14 points. And Greenlee lets Tristan Pecos up once again and putting on takedown. Clint just looking for an opening to get that pinning combination down as Bowden Greenlee trying to snap down. Another takedown to do this, so Bowden Greenlee just trying to find that combination that would get Tristan Pecos down on his back. He's up 18-5. 2 more points will put him up 20-5. He goes into an inside cradle. He has that combination locked up, so Greenlee's going to try to get the fall here for the Broncos. And they're going to let it go. Not sure if the match should have stopped there, but it's a 20-5 lead for Bowden Greenlee. He's up by 15, working for the fall on that edge of the mat. Has a nice cradle hooked up on Tristan Pecos. He's going for the fall here for the Broncos. And time runs out. So Tristan Pecos able to get into that third, or get out of the second period. Broncos go up in the duel now 5-0 over the Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks. So Broncos up 5-0. You get into your American Crystal Sugar starting lineup. Now we have Levi's Femme going out here at 195 pounds. Broncos bumping up a couple wrestlers, trying to fill in some gaps here without 195-pounder Gabe Lyons. So we have Ian Anderson at 106 pounds. Cruz Ranke at 113. Noah Anderson, Ryan Eng weighing in at 120 for the Lisbon Broncos. Griffin Greenlee, 126, along with Grayson Lyons. Cashton Wadeson out of the lineup at 132. Carter Wallner, 138-pound wrestler. Mike Nelson, 145. Jordan Dick, 145 pounds. 152, Blaze Ranke and Eli Lyons weighed in for the Broncos. 170, Bowden Greenlee. 182, Levi's Fem. 220, Drew Anderson. And also Grant Lyons and at heavyweight. And also weighing in for the Broncos is Aiden Hinkle at 220 pounds. So Levi's Fem, going up against Nick Anderson. It's now a 2-0 lead for Levi's Fem over Nick Anderson. Levi's Fem making it to the state championship match at 182 pounds, out here wrestling 195. He was beaten by Ivan Kruth by decision yesterday in that finals match. The Broncos lead this school by a score of 5-0. And Levi's Fem now working, has the crossface hooked up on Anderson. Anderson's able to roll through on that. Picks up 2 near falls, so it's a now 4-0 lead for Levi's Fem here wrestling 195 pounds. Broncos bumping up their wrestlers. Looking at that American Crystal starting lineup here for Hettinger Scranton at 106 pounds is Nick Dobitz. Also weighing at 106 is Austin Ermitson and Bert Vanderpool, along with Alberto Verdeen. At 113, Riley Hasbrook. 120, Tanner Defoe, along with Cyrus Roseland. Also Kyler Shaleski here weighing in at 126, 132 and Stone Stadheim. 138, Trevor Dowley. 145, Jaron Frank. And now it's Fem working for a foul here for the Broncos. He's going to get it. And Levi's Fem wins by a fall over Nick Anderson. The Broncos 6 points on the board. They're up now 11-0 in that first duel. And the Broncos sending out here at 220 pounds, Drew Anderson. So Drew Anderson winning a match in the state tournament, winning his first match in the state tournament on Thursday. So Drew Anderson now out on the map for the Lisbon Broncos at 220 pounds. The Broncos also at heavyweight coming up is Grant Lyons on deck for the Lisbon Broncos. Coming up at the 285-pound match. So the Broncos open up here with 11-0 lead the first 2 bouts. Bowden Greenlee picks up a win by tech fall, and Levi's Fem wins by pin. So that's a 11-0 lead. As far as the dual score for Lisbon Broncos, and Drew Anderson wrestling Bowden Hasbrook from Hettinger Scranton. Bowden Hasbrook has an 18-11 record. Hasbrook now has Anderson down on the mat, on the edge of the mat, working for a fall. Going to pick up some near fall here on Drew Anderson. That duel here between the South Border and Velva, that's still at 182 pounds. They're still on their first match. Winds down here in the third period, and that is a 7-0 lead for Herman Kolk. So Kolk with the 7-0 lead, he'll win that match. Looks like the South Border Mustangs will take a 3-0 lead in their duel with the Velva Aggies. So now Hasbrook has Anderson still on his back. Anderson fighting off here, not wanting to get up in. That'll do it. So Bowden Hasbrook will win by fall over Drew Anderson at 220 pounds. So that now 11-6 dual score here between the Broncos and the Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks. Lisbon sends out a heavyweight third-place state winner here. 2-time third-place state winner, we'll call it, for Grant Lyons. Lyons picks up a forfeit at heavyweight, so the Broncos take a 17-6 lead in this duel with the Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks. Lisbon opening up with a tech fall by Bowden Greenlee at 182. 195 was a pin by Levi's Fem. And then Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks answered back with a pin at 220 pounds. Bowden Hasbrook comes out and pins Drew Anderson. Grant Lyons takes a forfeit for the Broncos. Now we have Cruz Ranke seeing his first action since that Region 1 individual tournament. He plays 6th place there. He's wrestling Burke Vanderpool from the Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks. Ranke in on a single leg. And Vanderpool able to kind of tie that up with the Wizard. Now they go out of bounds. Ranke picks up a 2-point takedown. A couple of 7th graders going at it here. Cruz Ranke not making it to the state tournament for the Broncos. Vanderpool also 7th grader for the Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks. Get some time here in the state tournament. A good experience in a big tournament atmosphere for both of these wrestlers. As Vanderpool stands up, Ranke returns to the mat. They goes out of bounds. No, technical violation. I think it's a clasping. If it was a clasp on Cruz Ranke, or maybe because he pushed him out of bounds. On the state wrestling, officials could get a different, little different flavor of officiating up here. Call pins a little faster, stalemates a little bit faster, and push outs. I've seen a lot of that where they've called these wrestlers where they offensively push somebody out of bounds, get called with a technical violation. So now it's a 17-6 lead for the Lisbon Broncos. And 195 up off the Velva Aggies and the Southporter Mustangs. That's a major decision win for Herman Koch. So Southporter takes a 4-0 lead into that duel against Velva. Now they're out there at 195 pounds between Schumacher and Braden Seltzler. That should be a good one. 3rd place, Daniel Schumacher wrestling a state champion in Braden Seltzler. Ranke now has a 4-2 lead in this duel between Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks and the Lisbon Broncos at 106 pounds. The winner of this match will go advance to the semifinals. And they'll take on that winner, the Central Cast duel. That's happening over on mat number 7. You're following along on Track Wrestling. You can catch that also on YourLiveEvent.com with Joe Morgan. They're at 220 pounds. Currently at 220 pounds in that duel. They're at blood time with the Bank North blood time out. Now Cruz Ranke working for the foul for the Broncos here at the end of the first period. 5 seconds left. He has a cradle hooked up tight. The official down there taking a peek. And Vanderpool is going to make it through here into the second period against Ranke. Ranke now has a 7-2 lead going into the second. Vanderpool picks the top position. Now he's going to defer. Coach says, no, take top. Coach Berwick over there coaching him on, saying, hey, take top. This kid's a hammer on top. You better take the top position here. Ranke's going to stand up right away. Trying to return Ranke to the mat. Ranke's going to step away, hip pipes in, gets a 2-point reversal. Now Vanderpool is going to be able to knee slide through there, stands up, gets a 1-point escape, a 9-3 lead for Cruz Ranke. They're in the second period with 1:40 to go. Now Ranke with the 2-point takedown extends his lead to 11-3, has a cradle hooked up on Vanderpool. Vanderpool trying to defend there. They're grabbing a leg and keeping Ranke from getting that turn here. Ranke goes head in the hole, has Vanderpool over, working for the foul for the Broncos. Yeah, a little disadvantage here on the as far as we're broadcasting from. They have the mats here. A little bit different feel to it here in the Fargo Dome with the additions of 12 mats, running 12 mats. State Class B duels are running kind of on 2 different sides of the dome. So now Ranke back with that cradle. He's going to have 3 near fall. He's up 11-3. He goes 2 near fall. Looks like there's only 2 there. The referee is signaling 2 near fall. Ranke going in again. Going to try to get this 3 near fall secure. Vanderpool is able to scramble out with 36 seconds to go here in the second period. Ranke gets his 3 near fall, now a 14-3 lead for Cruz Ranke. It looked like the official signaled that 3 points. Ranke still trying to make an adjustment here and get those shoulders flattened to Vanderpool. Heavy over the top. Vanderpool still trying to bridge out. Ranke working for the fall now in good position. He's going to win by fall. And 6 more points on the board for the Lisbon Broncos. They'll go up now 23-6 over the Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks. Lisbon sends out Grayson Lyons at 113 pounds. Lyons making it to the state wrestling tournament this year. Had a couple good matches. Just not able to pick up a win there in that tough 113-pound weight class. So 113. Grayson Lyons here going out in this American Crystal Sugar starting lineup for the Lisbon Broncos. So Broncos have a 23-6 lead. Broncos leading this one by a score of 23-6. Picked up a tech foul from Bowden Green. They at 182. Levi's Fem comes away with the pin at 195. 220. Bowden Hasbrook from Hettinger Scranton answers back with the pin of his own, putting 6 points on the board for the Nighthawks. And at heavyweights, Grant Lyons picks up a forfeit for the Lisbon Broncos. And then Cruz Ranky now picks up a pin over Vanderpool from Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks, putting Lisbon up by a score of 23-6. Now Grayson Lyons out there wrestling Riley Hasbrook. A couple of freshmen going at it here. Hasbrook, a freshman with a 32-14 record. The wrestlers still not committing to a takedown. Go off the edge of the mat, now circling back to the center. That duel, the match between Daniel Schumacher and Braden Seltzler. Schumacher has a 3-1 lead. They're in a Bank North timeout on mat number 12. They're a Bank North blood timeout on mat number 12 there. That match between the Velvet Aggies and the South Border Mustangs. Schumacher leads that one by a score of 3-1. And now Riley Hasbrook picks up a 2-point takedown. He leads 2-0 over Grayson Lyons. And Hasbrook going to work on top. Lyons broke belly down on the mat. And Lyons stands up trying to get an escape here. Hasbrook pushing on him. Lyons gets a 1-point escape. Now a 2-1 lead for Riley Hasbrook here in the first period with 20 seconds to go. Or 20 seconds remaining. Now that duel between Central Cass, you have the Central Cass Squirrels. They're wrestling the Northern Lights. That's up on mat number 10. That's a 6-4 duel lead for the Central Cass Squirrels. They come in the number 4 seed and wrestling number 5 seed at Northern Lights. And Garrett Haugen and John Leonard locked in a battle there. That's a 3-2 lead for Garrett Haugen. That's on mat number 10. They can also catch that on yourliveevent.com, streaming live right now with Joe Morgan. And Braden Seltzler on mat number 12. He gets a 1-point escape. It's a 3-2 lead for Daniel Schumacher. Seltzler state champion, Schumacher, third place state winner. Battling out here at 195 pounds. The Mustangs lead that one by a score of 4-0. This match here between Lyons and Hasbrook. Hasbrook's in the bottom position trying to work a reversal on Grayson Lyons. Lyons just a little bit high. They get a potentially dangerous call for a restart back in the center of the mat. So that kind of works in Lyons' favor there with that restart. And the restart now, Hasbrook trying to work a Peterson on Lyons. It goes sit out here, grabs that arm of Lyons. The counter that I like on that, if you throw in a half Nelson, Lyons not able to get that half Nelson. Now Hasbrook gets a 2-point reversal. Lyons gets back up to his base. Doesn't give up any near fall. It's a 4-1 lead for Riley Hasbrook at 113 pounds. Lyons now back up. Hasbrook working the leg. They're trying to break Lyons back down, but Lyons in good position here to get back around, at least get a loss of control or a 2-point reversal. Lyons has to get behind Hasbrook. Hasbrook still able to turn with Lyons. Lyons still out front here at the minute mark of the second period. And John Leonard picks up a pin over Garrett Haugen. That's 6 points on the board for Northern Lights, so now it's a 10-6 lead for Northern Lights going into their heavyweight match. And Lyons now picks up a 2-point takedown on mat number 9 between the Nighthawks and the Broncos. So Lyons 2-point takedown. That's a 3-4 lead or 4-3 lead. Riley Hasbrook from Hettinger Scranton leads that by a score of 4-3. Down to 30 seconds to go. The coach is trying to get the wrestler here to hit a crossface over the top. Now Hasbrook with a nice sit-out, stand up to a sit-out. Goes down on the mat now. He's going to pick up a 1-point escape. He's up now 5-3 over Grayson Lyons. And Schumacher and Seltzer going at it here at the end of this period, third period. Seltzler down by 1 point. He has 5 seconds. Takes a look at the clock. Daniel Schumacher leads 3-2. Schumacher takes a step back. Seltzer clubs ahead of Schumacher. Schumacher still blocking. He's going to win this match and put 3 more points on the board for the South Border Mustangs at 195 pounds. They lead that duel by a score of 7-0 over the Velvet Aggies. So Schumacher gets one up on the state champion, Braden Seltzler. Schumacher just a junior. He'll be back next year here at the state tournament representing the Mustangs. And Hasbrook with that 5-3 lead. Grayson Lions started in the bottom position. Lions trying to score here off the bottom. Either a 1-point escape or a 2-point reversal. Gets stood up, trying to hip heist in. Hasbrook able to return him back down to the mat. Now running a deep half Nelson on Grayson Lions. Lions trying to counter. It doesn't looks painful. Lions still able to counter. Hasbrook has that half Nelson buried in deep. Lions gets back, belly down, able to counter out of it. Down to a minute 20 to go here. It's a 5-3 lead for Riley Hasbrook here at 113 pounds. The Broncos opened up the scoring of this duel at 182 with Bowden Greenlee picking up a tech foul. 195. Levi's Femme wins by pin. 220. Hettinger Scranton answers back with a pin over Bowden Hasbrook over Drew Anderson. Grant Lyon comes out of heavyweight, takes a forfeit for the Broncos. 106. Cruz Ranke comes out for Lisbon and picks up a win by fall over Vanderpool at 106 pounds. Now 113, battling out here between Grayson Lions and Riley Hasbrook. Hasbrook with that half Nelson again, buried in deep. Trying to run it on Lions. Now jumps across to the other side. You get up a technical violation. So Lions with an escape, he can tie this thing up. Now a 5-4 lead for Riley Hasbrook. Hasbrook just working that half Nelson, jumping across back and forth. Goes to a full Nelson. Now a 220-pound match here. With the Aggies and the Mustangs. So Taylor Meyer out there for the Southport Mustangs at 220 pounds. He has a 5-0 lead over Evan Wrench from Velva. And Lions not able to get off the bottom. Hasbrook keeping Lions just broke belly down. Lions not able to get any momentum going here. He has 10 seconds to get an escape. Hasbrook still keeping him buried into the mat. He has a 5-4 lead, working a tilt now on Lions. Lions trying to stay off. He's going to roll through. Hasbrook's going to pick up near fall as time expires. So that's a 5-4 win for Riley Hasbrook over Grayson Lions. Puts 3 points on the board now, 23-9 lead for the Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks. So the Broncos here, the American Crystal Sugar starting lineup. We'll see the Broncos send out. Trying to fill some holes in their lineup with injuries to Gabe Lyons and also to Cashton Waits, and Lyons injured in that region championship match with Daniel Schumacher. Now Ryan Eng getting some action here for the Lisbon Broncos at 120 pounds. And Ryan not in the lineup here for the region individuals tournament out here at 120 pounds. And wrestling for the Lisbon Broncos. Eng, a state place winner last year at the 2022 state wrestling tournament, second place runner-up finish for him. So Ryan Eng wrestling Tanner Defoe. Defoe, a senior for the Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks. Ryan Eng, a freshman. And Noah Anderson, 120-pound wrestler for the Broncos. A state runner-up yesterday, lost by decision to Trace Hogarth of the Carrington Cardinals. Looks like Anderson either a bump up here for the Broncos. Now Defoe went on a single leg on Ryan Eng. Eng just trying to whizzer down on this and counter Defoe. Going to elevate this on Eng. Goes to a trip, trying to trip him down here to the mat. And Defoe still hasn't got a takedown yet. Has that leg elevated to Eng. Eng with good balance here, just trying to counter out. Defoe still not, trips him down. Eng back up to his feet. Defoe now trying to change it up here on Eng. So a 2-point takedown here for Tanner Defoe on Ryan Eng. He leads by a score of 2-0, down to 15 seconds to go in this first period. And Defoe is going to run Eng off the mat. Now Eng stands up, trying to work a 2-point reversal here, down with 7 seconds to go. Hey, Ryan Eng, good position over the top. Defoe just hanging on the leg, trying to stop this. And no points awarded. And Ryan Eng's going to start this period in the bottom position. It was it was Defoe's choice. He defers to Eng. Eng chooses bottom position. This match here between New Salem Almont and Pembina County North. Trenton Clapp picks up a pin here for New Salem Almont. He was down 4-2 to Brock Fear, but he picks up a pin at 126 pounds. So New Salem Almont now leads by a score of 24-15 over Pembina County North Grizzlies. And coming up on heavyweight on that South Border Velva Aggies match, 220 pounds. Shane Nitschke going out there, state champion for the South Border Mustangs. And that is now a 12-0 lead for South Border. They lead 12-0 over the Velva Aggies at 285 pounds. So this is heavyweight match. And that's Lackaduk out there for the Velva Aggies. So Eng now with a 1-point escape, manages to get out from underneath there in that duel between the Nighthawks and the Broncos. Broncos lead that duel by a score of 23-9. Eng and Defoe now, they're kind of locked out front here. Defoe in the situation position. He's in the top position, working a front headlock on Ryan Eng. Eng in the bottom, kind of hanging on to this elbow. They're still in that situation position there in the on mat number 9 between the Broncos and the Nighthawks. Now Eng's trying to hit a high crotch fireman's, trying to work underneath. And Defoe's still blocking out here on top. Now we're running another front headlock. Eng wasting a lot of time here on the bottom. He's down 2-1 in this situation position. Now Defoe's going to try to step around. Eng still hand fighting underneath. Ryan, he gets back up here to his feet. Going to try to go back around top, but he's going to run out of time. He's down 2-1 on Tanner Defoe. Eng wasting a little bit of time there on the bottom, trying to work inside. Eventually realized he had to get out of there. But it was too late here at the end of the second period, so he's down 2-1 to Tanner Defoe. Defoe starts in the bottom position. Ryan Eng goes to the chopping purchase. 2-on-1 ride here as Defoe broke belly down now in the mat, center of the mat. So that match there, mat number 10 between the Central Cass Squirrels and the Northern Lights. Bryce Prouty and Dylan Sell. That match now is over. So it looks like Bryce Prouty won that one for the Northern Lights. That dual score now is 14-6 in favor of Northern Lights, up over Central Cass. Northern Lights number 5 seed, Central Cass Squirrels number 6. Lisbon Broncos are the Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks. The winner of that duel will take on the winner of the Central Cass Northern Lights duel. Eng still working on top of Tanner Defoe. Defoe right now just seems satisfied with being on the bottom. Eng is still trying to work a pinning combination, trying to chop that arm. And not able to move Tanner Defoe much here on the bottom. Now we're trying to work a head lever. Defoe head down, buried in the mat. And going to work on that arm on Defoe. Now gets it chopped. And Nitschke here on top, still scoreless in the second period. Here Russell and Lackaduk here, heavyweight between the Velva Aggies and the South Border Mustangs. Now Defoe gets stood up on the edge of the mat. And Eng Warren was stalling. So Ryan Eng warned with stalling. Now he's going to give an escape. He's going to give the 1-point escape here to Tanner Defoe to start this restart back in the center of the mat there in the third period with 32 seconds to go. And now down to 25. Eng shoots in on a double, trying to work underneath on Defoe. He's going to dump him down. Defoe able to recover. So Eng trying to work that dump. Wasn't able to get it. Down to 15 seconds. Wrestlers still locked horns here. As time expires down to 8 seconds, the wrestlers now back to a restart. Eng's going to shoot in on Defoe. Defoe takes a step back. Eng going to work on the head. Going to run out of time here. So Tanner Defoe's going to win by a score of 3-1. Wins by decision 3-1 over Ryan Eng at 120 pounds. That's 3 more points on the board for the Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks now. 23-12 lead for the Lisbon Broncos. So Hettinger Scranton answering back here with a couple wins by decision. Picking up a win at 113 pounds over Grayson Lyons, and now a win by decision. Defoe over Ryan Eng at 120 pounds. Now Noah Anderson going out for the Lisbon Broncos. His state runner-up at 120 pounds, taking the mat. Wrestler for Hettinger Scranton checking in at the scores table. Just going through the lineup, trying to find the right wrestler to put down here for 126 pounds. And Shane Nitschke's going to win by fall. So Southport Mustangs are up by a score of 18-0. They're going into 106 pounds. And that's on mat number 12 between the Aggies and the Southport Mustangs. The Central Cass and the Northern Lights duel of interest to the Broncos right now. That's a 20-6 lead for Northern Lights. They lead 20-6 over Central Cass. Right now, Drew Orbach's out there and Keenan Gores at 113 pounds. And Noah Anderson, he picks up a 2-point takedown. He's wrestling Stone Stadheim from Hettinger Scranton. So Stadheim, a 7th grader. Anderson for the Broncos, a freshman. Anderson has a cradle lock up, throws Stadheim to his back. Going to trap that leg of Stadheim so he's not able to kick or rock out of this. Now, Anderson going to just put that bottom knee. Now goes hip down on the mat, chest on the shoulder, trying to push it down. Working for the foul for the Broncos at 1:02 here in the first period. And Anderson will win by fall for Lisbon with that cradle. 6 more points on the board now. 29-12 lead for the Lisbon Broncos over Hettinger Scranton. So Anderson wins by fall now, 132 pounds. Got a rematch here between Kyler Shaleski and Griffin Greenlee. That match went into sudden victory overtime between Greenlee and Shaleski. Well, Shaleski coming out on top of that, picking up a takedown. Kind of a controversial match. Greenlee secures a takedown at the end of the period. Thought he was ahead and called with a technical violation, clasping at the end of that. And that put it into overtime. And Shaleski goes on to place in the top 6. Griffin Greenlee places 7th at state. So a couple of state place winners going at it here at 132 pounds. And Greenlee goes, clubs ahead of Shaleski. Shaleski dancing around. Now Greenlee goes, elbow pass on Shaleski. And Shaleski's able to get Greenlee down to the mat, secures a 2-point takedown. Back to the center of the mat. Now Greenlee stands up. Hip heists in, gets a 1-point escape. A 2-1 lead for Kyler Shaleski at the minute 25 mark. But things are rocking here in the Fargo Dome. That match between the Southport Mustangs and Velva Aggies now at 113 pounds. It's an 18-6 lead, so Velva answering back here with a pin at 106. And Northern Lights coming up with another win by fall. So Northern Lights kind of running the lineup here against the Central Cass Squirrels, number 5 seeded Northern Lights. They're now up by a score of 26-6, and they're at going to 120 pounds. They're up 26-6 over the Central Cass Squirrels. We'll see if Central Cass can answer back here. At 120 pounds. And that looks like Josiah Crandall going out there for the Central Cass Squirrels now. So Greenlee and Shaleski now a 4-3 lead for Kyler Shaleski. Shaleski has a tilt on Greenlee here in the first period. He's going to pick up at least a 1 count. So he got a swipe of the hand, has that leg turned to Greenlee, working the crossface. Going to try to stretch out Shaleski with those long legs and arms. Gets another swipe of the mat, still borderline here. Indication by the referee. And now Shaleski going to try to stretch the arm. Greenlee gets belly down. That's a 4-3 lead for Kyler Shaleski here at the end of this first period. And going into the second. So Greenlee and Shaleski going at it here in the first period, scoring 7 points between the two wrestlers. And Greenlee's choice, he's going to choose neutral. Well, Greenlee feeling like he's the strongest on his feet. Shaleski just worked him over on top there a little bit, had a couple swipes of the hand, but no, not picking up near fall. Oh, Greenlee trying to work the head of Shaleski. Shaleski's going to go underneath on Greenlee. Picks up, has a single leg. Greenlee's going to whizzer him down to the mat. Hard whizzer by Greenlee. Now Greenlee working crossface on Shaleski. Shaleski still has that leg. Going to try to power into Greenlee. And Greenlee back to that whizzer. Steps over. Now Shaleski steps back across. 2 points awarded to Shaleski. So Shaleski's now up by a score of 6-3. A couple of cartwheels by both wrestlers. Shaleski comes out of that cartwheel battle there up on top. He leads by a score of 6-3. So Josiah Crandall up for Central Cass. He has a 2-0 lead over Alex Tandesky for Northern Lights. That's a Class B duel on mat number 10 right now. Northern Lights leads that score by a score of 26-6. Now Shaleski with another pinning combination. Has Greenlee going over. Greenlee on his back. Tries to roll through, so 2 near fall coming up for Kyler Shaleski over Griffin Greenlee at 132 pounds. And Greenlee doing everything he can not to give up 3 near fall. Now back over. Shaleski jumps across chest on chest, working for the fall for Hettinger Scranton. Greenlee still trying to bridge out of here. Shaleski just mauling him on top here, keeping those shoulders down to the mat. Works it in tighter and tighter as Greenlee turning back and forth. So Kyler Shaleski wins by fall. 6 points on the board, so 29-18 is the score here in this duel. Hettinger Scranton answers back after that pin by Noah Anderson. Now coming out on the mat, 138 pounds is Carter Wallner for the Broncos. Part of your American Crystal Sugar lineup. And Carter Wallner checking in. Duel between Velva Aggies and Southport Mustang. That's still 18-6. Brody Michelson wrestling Pitch Hager out there. And that's at 113 pounds. That's a 6-0 lead for, now a 6-2 lead for Pitch Hager there at 51 seconds. Now 50 seconds left in that second period. With Michelson currently in the top position, 113 pounds. And that is a 18-6 duel lead. Now Wallner bear hugs, just rips his Scranton opponent Trevor Dowley down to the mat with double underhooks. Wallner working for a fall here for the Broncos, trying to get some electricity back into that lineup. Just bear hugged and threw Dowley down to the mat. He's going to win by fall for the Broncos. So big pin coming up. Lisbon answers back at 138 pounds. The senior for the Broncos getting it done. Broncos now lead by a score of 35-18. Mike Nelson stepping on the mat for the Broncos, reporting in for the 145-pound match. We started the duel at 182. Broncos sent out Bowden Greenlee against Tristan Picas. The Broncos, Bowden Greenlee won that match by tech fall. In 195, Levi Svem picks up the win by pin. 220 pounds. And Bowden Hasbrook wins by fall. Now 145, Mike Nelson with the forfeit at 145 pounds. So Broncos with 6 more points on the board here with that forfeit. So just once again, this broadcast here at the North Dakota State Class B Dual Team Tournament has been authorized by special arrangements with the Board of Directors of the North Dakota High School Activities Association. We're proud to be covering this duel here today between the Lisbon Broncos and the Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks on YourLiveEvent.com. You also catch the Central Cass and Northern Lights duel with Joe Morgan on YourLiveEvent.com on a separate stream. Right now, Northern Lights leading that duel by a score of 26-6. And Jordan Dick going out here at 152 pounds for the Broncos, getting a little bit of action. Jordan in the lineup for the Broncos on the JV side, but getting some time here with the varsity. He's had a lot of success in the varsity tournaments this year and making the podium in several of them. So a quality wrestler, likely to be in starting lineup on most teams around the state. Getting thrown out here at 152 pounds, normally down there around 138, 145. He's wrestling Jaron Frank Jr. for Hettinger Scranton with a 29-7 record. Right now, Frank working on top on that far edge of the mat. Kind of has him over in the swamp there, over in that Hettinger Scranton corner with Coach Berwick. And Frank's going to try to turk this leg, try to lift it up, and he's going to try to step through. So he has that leg turked on Jordan Dick. Now going to run an armbar. Has an armbar tight, runs it around the head of Jordan Dick. And that's it. He's going to win by fall. So Jaron Frank answers back, puts 6 points on the board. No. Blaze Ranke going out here at 160 pounds. So Ranke coming out at 160. And Blaze Ranke making it to the state championship match there. They lost by a 3-1 decision to Marshall Lindgren. The closing seconds of that match. Lindgren able to secure a 2-point takedown on the edge of the mat. Now Ranke going out here all about business, secures a 2-point takedown. Brody Michelson's going to win over Pitch Hager. Hager had a big lead. Michelson comes from behind. He wins by a decision, 8-7. I thought the Aggies had that match locked up. Michelson didn't quit wrestling. He wins by decision, 8-7. Now 21-6 lead for the South Border Mustangs. Ranke going to work on top here with this duel between the Nighthawks and the Broncos. He has a armbar locked up here on Tanner Blackwell, the junior from Hettinger Scranton with a 15-23 record. Now just going to try to walk this back over the top. Goes bar half. Scoops the shoulder, walks it around, working for the fall here for the Broncos. Steps over the top, down with a minute to go. Is Blaze Ranke. Blaze Ranke is going to pick up 3 points. Still gets 3 near fall. Now Blackwell is going to try to hip heist out. Goes out of bounds for a restart. The Broncos lead by a score of 41-24 over Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks. So Lisbon up 41-24. So Ranke now working that armbar. Down to 38 seconds. Going to run it around again on Tanner Blackwell. It has that right shoulder up, left shoulder up. Just a little bit. Official down there is going to slap the mat for a pin for Blaze Ranke. So Ranke puts 6 points on the board now. 47-24 lead for the Lisbon Broncos. They're going into 170 pounds. The duel started at 182. And Eli Lyons coming out here going to wrestle 170 for the Broncos. And the undersized freshman keeps moving up weight classes. He's out here wrestling 170. The Lions not afraid to take on the competition. Had a great match in the region tournament. At 160 pounds, threw a lat drop on the South Border wrestlers. Just wasn't able to secure the fall, trying to get his way into the finals. Just missed out. He's wrestling Devin Greff here from Hettinger Scranton. So Devin Greff shoots in on a double. Now Lyons is going to crossface and try to counter out here on Greff, working back around the backside. Has a crossface hooked up. Greff able to stop him and counter out. And they get a stalemate called here with 59 seconds to go, so stalemate. This duel between the New Salem Almont Holsteins and Pembina County North. Carson Brown's going to win by decision over Riley Dahl, so a 2-1 winner wins by decision. That's a 39-18 right now. New Salem leads that by a score of 39-18, and they're at 152 pounds going into a 152-pound match. So it looks like the Holsteins will advance and take on the winner here of this Velva Aggies and South Border Mustangs. Lisbon in control of this duel. They'll advance to the semifinal round. Right now, Eli Lyons out there for the Broncos. You get some mat time wrestling. Devin Greff, he's up by a score of 2-0. And Central Cass and Northern Lights, that dual score right now 26-10. They're at 126 pounds, still not locked up. And Brady Peterson out there wrestling for Central Cass. He leads by a score of 5-2. You can catch that stream also on yourliveevent.com with Joel Morgan And that's a 26-10 lead for Northern Lights. They're at 126 pounds. We started these duels at 182 today, so they still have a ways to go in that duel. We're at 170 on mat number 9 with Eli Lyons wrestling Devin Greff. Right now, Lyons has a 2-0 lead. And going into the second period, Lyons defers over to Greff. And they're going to start in that neutral position with Lyons and Greff. And Ty Wolding comes out at 152 pounds, picks up a pin for the Salem Holstein. So 6 more points now, 45-18 dual score on that mat, on mat number 11 between the Holsteins and Pembina County North Grizzlies. The Lions still the locked horns with Devin Greff. Now Lyons drops down to a single leg, has the head to the inside. Has to double up on it as Greff has a sprawl. Now Lyons goes inside, head to the inside leg on Greff. Not able to elevate it. Greff keeping Lyons down on the mat. Lyons still trying to power into it. Greff has this near ankle locked up on Lyons. Now flattens him out on the mat. Greff trying to step around behind, has that ankle. Lyons locked up. He's going to get a 2-point takedown, so it ties it up by a score of 2-2. Lisbon has this duel locked up. Right now it's a 47-24 lead. Just a matter of the final score, the outcome of this match. Right now, 47-24 lead for the Broncos. They'll take on the winner of Northern Lights Centra Cass. They're wrestling over on mat number 10. And 126 pounds between the Mustangs and the Velva Aggies. Right now, Tristan Lepp out there for the Southport Mustangs wrestling Brexton Yanish. Yanish, the 7th grader. He's down 5-0 to Tristan Lepp. Lepp, the state place winner this year once again for the Southport Mustangs. Now Lyons goes up by a score of 4-2. So Lyons with the reversal. He scores a reversal. He's up by a score of 4-2. And Greff's going to sit out here. They're at the 22nd mark of this second period. So Devin Greff tries to sit out. Lyons going to work on that far arm of Devin Greff, trying to chop it. Now goes head lever. He grabs the wrist. Just trying to get Greff broke down to the mat. Applies a lot of pressure on that arm. Now goes arm bar. Has an arm bar locked up on the near side. Greff trying to counter out. And that'll do it here for the second period. So Eli Lyons takes a 4-2 lead. His choice, he's going to choose the bottom position. And Devin Greff, a senior, a 22-20 record wrestling for the Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks. Eli Lyons, pretty sure he started the season wrestling 138 pounds. And just kept on getting bounced around, either 138 or 145, wrestling 170 in this duel. I don't know if you give him the MVP award for the Broncos. That goes to Bowden Greenlee, but there's got to be either a Bronco award or Mr. Versatile, because filling a lot of holes for the Broncos in their lineup this year and finding success at every weight class that he's wrestling. So a lot of good things to come from Eli Lyons in the Bronco lineup, as long as he keeps on working to improve year over year, and picks up now a 7-2 lead and got an escape and a takedown. So he's now up by a score of 7-2, down to a minute 12 to go in this third period. So 7-2 lead for the Eli Lyons. And now Greff able to stand up, gets in a 1-point escape, so Lyons has to be cautious here. Greff's going to try to go in and hit a big through. He's down by 4 points. He's a takedown and near fall to tie it up, or takedown and 3 near fall to win that match. So Lyons, it goes in, collar tie. One thing I don't like, I'd rather just kind of stay away and work angles to the outside when I'm up 7-3 with 30 seconds to go in the third period. The Lyons breaks apart, and I'll go on. He's controlling the tie up here, trying to control the tie up with the Russian tie. So down to 18 seconds now, 17 seconds. And Lyons now shoots a nice high crotch, changes levels, going to double up on it. Greff's trying to counter out, throws Lyons around here. Lyons still not able to finish, goes out the back door. Comes over the top, gets Greff, catches the arm for a 2-point takedown at the end of the period. So that'll be a 9-3 lead for Eli Lions. The freshman comes out here for the Russell and the senior and picks up a 9-3 lead or a 9-3 win by decision. That's 3 more points. So the Broncos win this duel, advance to the semifinals. They win 50-24 over the Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks. We're going to go ahead and break away here for a 30-second timeout. Or Bank North, a little 30-second timeout here for a commercial break. Come back, we're going to recap with our Ryan Opdahl dual recap here. Also, Farmers Union Insurance from Hillsboro, home auto and business life insurance. Visit the agency downtown in Hillsboro. So we'll be back here in 30 seconds after a word from our sponsors, live from the Fargo Dome.
Bank of North Dakota wants you to be confident when it's time to make student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident to calculate the maximum amount of student loan debt that is recommended based on your career choice. You can also learn how to apply for financial aid and get tips to cut education expenses. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident today.
Are you thinking about moving to an assisted living facility? Consider Benedictine Living Community in Ada. Located in the heart of the Red River Valley, Benedictine's Ada campus includes Benedictine Care Community, a 49-bed skilled nursing facility, and Mission Court, an 18-unit assisted living facility that shares a campus with Essentia Health Ada. That means you have full access to healthcare directly on site. Benedictine Living Community in Ada. Learn more online at www.blcada.org or give them a call at 218-784-5001.
Hey, welcome back here. We're live from the Fargo Dome, North Dakota State Class B dual team tournament. Lisbon Broncos secure a win over the Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks by a score of 50-24. So here with your Ryan Opdahl, with your Opdahl kind of post-game report, dual recap. Duel here started today, or all duels started today at the State Class B dual tournament at 182 pounds. So Bowden Greenlee bumping up here for the Broncos, trying to fill some holes in their lineup. Broncos coming in a little banged up without Cashton Waitson, 132 pounds, went down with an injury in the State Class B individual side of the tournament. Also without Gabe Lyons. Lyons taken out in the region individual tournament with a concussion, not able to participate in the state tournament. So Broncos bump up Bowden Greenlee at 182 pounds. He wins by tech foul over Tristan Pekas, 23-5. So Greenlee, they putting on a clinic there. Had a pinning combination at the end of the third period, just not able to secure that foul. Nice cradle locked up. But he wins by tech foul at 182 pounds over Tristan Pekas. 195, Levi's Femme wins by foul over Nick Anderson. So Lisbon puts up 11 points on the board right away. Then 220 pounds. Hettinger Scranton answers back with Bowden Hasbrook coming out here for the Nighthawks. Pins Drew Anderson in a minute 24 for 6 points. Lisbon gets a little bit of an answer back, we'll call that, with a forfeit. So Grant Lyons takes a forfeit for the Broncos at 285 pounds. And one of those things of the state tournament, kind of hard. It's a little bit hard to recover from a forfeit. It'd be a 12-point swing there as the Broncos pick up 6 points. With that forfeit from the Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks, Cruz Ranke gets a pin for the Broncos at 106 pounds. Wrestling Burke Vanderpool, a couple 7th graders going at it. Ranke finding some action here in the state tournament on the dual side. So the Broncos, the answer there with that 6-point pin from Cruz Ranke. 113-pound Riley Hasbrook. Hettinger Scranton defeats Grayson Lyons in a good match between Lyons and Hasbrook. And Hasbrook wins by his decision, 5-4, 120 pounds. Scranton putting together a couple wins in a row as Tanner Defoe comes out with a win by decision over Ryan Eng. Eng finding his first state tournament action on the dual side as well for the Lisbon Broncos. 126-pound Noah Anderson, state runner-up for the Broncos, comes out and wins by foul over Stone Stadheim in a minute 2. In a rematch of must have been about the third-round wrestleback that was between Kyler Shaleski and Griffin Greenlee. That was yesterday. At 130, that was at 126 pounds. Both wrestlers bump up here, so Kyler Shaleski wins by foul over Griffin Greenlee in 3:35. 138, Carter Wallner comes out like a shot out of a cannon. Double underhooks Trevor Daly. Throws him down to the mat and wins by fall in 21 seconds. 145-pound Mike Nelson for the Broncos receives a forfeit for 6 more points. 152, Jaron Frank comes out and wrestles Jordan Dick. Jordan Dick bumping up for the Broncos in the lineup, finding some state tournament action. And Jaron Frank wins by fall in a minute 20, putting 6 points on the Bronco. Blaze Ranke for the Broncos comes out, pins Tanner Blackwell in a minute 31. Ranke, state runner-up for Lisbon yesterday in the individual side of the tournament. On the Eli Lions, Mr. Versatile, 170 pounds, comes out and wins by decision 9-3 over Devin Greff, the senior. So Lisbon wins the duel by a score of 50-24 over the Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks. They make it to the semifinal round. That duel between Northern Lights and Central Cass, that's now tied up 26-26. So that is a great duel going on there. It's a 26-26 between Hettinger Scranton, or between Northern Lights and Central Cass. So we leave it here just for a little bit. This duel of interest to Lisbon fans out there. Got a good one going on. A good one going on right now between Central Cass and Northern Lights. And they are at 145 pounds. Remember, we started these duels at 182, so they still got a few weight classes to go over in that duel. And that duel between New Salem and Pembina County, that duel is now over. So New Salem wins that one by a score of 51-22. So similar score there with the Broncos and the Hettinger Scranton. So New Salem advances to the semifinals. They'll take on the winner between the Velva Aggies and Southport and Mustangs. Southport leads that one by a score, currently by a score of 38-18. That's taking place on mat number 12. Broncos win their duel 50-24 over Hettinger Scranton. Hettinger with a couple open weight classes. And currently in this duel, Grady Link's out there for Central Cass, wrestling Haviland DeLong. Link had a headlock locked up on DeLong. DeLong able to counter out, gets belly down. And that is in the first period, down to the minute mark. So DeLong with that 2-0 lead right now over Grady Link. And Grady Link having a nice state tournament. Now DeLong is going to stretch this arm out. Has Link going over to his back. Like I said, you can also catch the stream here on your live event. Excuse me. You can find Chase Miller over there with Joe Deutsch. They're doing that game. They're doing that coverage. Joe Morgan has the Central Cass girls team, so you can catch any dual action for Central Cass girls with Joe Morgan also here on the YourLiveEvent.com. Your Live Event covering Central Cass, Lisbon boys, and also Central Cass girls. And Haviland DeLong is going to win that duel by fall. So that's 6 points on the board. Wins by fall over Grady Link. So now a 32-26 lead for Northern Lights. That was at 145 pounds, now going up to 152. Oh, Cole Stock out there now on mat number 12. Wrestling Noah Werner for Velva. Right now it's a 38-18 score. Stock has a 4-0 lead. And now given a 2-point takedown, now he's up 6-0. And they're in the third period at 152. They still have 160 and 170 weight classes to go in that duel. So Lisbon picking up a win here, 50-24 over the Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks. They advance to the semifinals. They'll take on the winner here of this duel between Northern Lights and Central Cass. You can also catch it, the commentary on YourLiveEvent.com with Chase Miller and Joe Deutsch. Northern Lights picking up a pin at 145 pounds by Haviland DeLong over Grady Link. That put him up 32-26. Now wrestlers got a technical violation, so it was a 2-point takedown out there for Caden Graber for Central Cass, wrestling Cole Henderson for Northern Lights. Both sophomores going at it. So Cole Henderson, a sophomore, 37-9 record, got taken down by Caden Graber. So officials over there discussing and trying to find out what this, I don't know what the violation is or what. But they're right now in a Bank North timeout. So we're going to step away here. We got to do pay some bills with our sponsors. And we'll be back here in 30 seconds here. Try to keep you posted on this duel going on between Northern Lights and Central Cass.
There's a new inventory of trailers at Bloomfield Enterprises of Hillsboro. You can see the latest inventory online at bloomfieldtrailers.com. Bloomfield Enterprises has a full line of Big Tex trailers. Big Tex has affordable and versatile utility trailers for all your jobs. Big Tex has a full line of products from ATV trailers to gooseneck to dump trailers and more. Call Larry at 218-368-7989 or Tim at 701-430-0877. Bloomfield Enterprises in Hillsboro.
Don't let the flu get you down. Fight the flu with a shot of prevention. Stop at Hillsboro Drug and get your flu shot today. No appointment is necessary. Shingle shots are also available. And don't forget your other pharmacy and healthcare needs at Hillsboro Drug. Over-the-counter medications, vitamins, health and beauty items as well. For your convenience, Hillsboro Drug offers mail-out service and delivery of your prescriptions. Check out the gift items for all occasions, too. Hillsboro Drug is a locally owned pharmacy and proud to serve the area. They thank you for trusting them with your business at Hillsboro Drug.
Hey, back here live from the Fargo Dome. Lisbon Broncos win their duel by a score of 50-24 over the Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks. Also advancing to the semifinal, New Salem Hostings. They win 51-22 over Pembina County North, and currently locked in this battle on mat number 12 is the Velva Aggies wrestling the Southborder Mustangs. Velva right now down in this one by a score of 50-18 to Southborder. They're at 170 pounds. Looks like Cole Nitschke going out there for Southborder. Younger brother of Jace and Shane Nitschke. Oh, Nitschke's establishing a wrestling legacy there for the Mustangs. And Cole Nitschke, freshman or eighth grader out there. That match, they're at 170 pounds. So that'll be the final match in that duel out there with Cole Nitschke for Southborder representing the Southborder Mustangs. And now we have some blood time. Make North blood time out. Over there on mat number 10. So they're in another Bank North blood timeout. And that is a 32-26 lead for Northern Lights in that duel. So Cole Nitschke wrestling Kelson Maskell. Maskell, a junior from Velva with a 10-23 record. Hey, Cole Nitschke, a freshman for Southborder, has a 7-9 record. And Southborder currently leads that one by a score of 50-18. So we're going to eventually step away from broadcast, get set up for a semifinal duel. The Lisbon Broncos will take on the winner here of this duel between Northern Lights and Central Cass. Like I said, you can also catch the end of this duel also on yourliveevent.com. There's a separate stream running out there covering all Central Cass duels. You'll find Chase Miller and Joe Deutsch on there doing that duel. Also, Central Cass girls duel on yourliveevent.com with Joe Morgan. You'll follow the Central Cass girls as they progress through the state girls duel tournament. First one for North Dakota High School Activities Association as far as state girls duels. So we'll call this the inaugural year. That's still a 2-1 lead for Caden Greiber for Central Cass. He starts in the bottom position in the second period. Nice sit out right away. This kid's fired up, wants to do it for the Central Cass Squirrels. Wrestling Cole Henderson. So Graber coming out here with a 2-point reversal now at 4-1, trying to keep Central Cass into that duel. So like I said, you can catch that with Chase Miller, Joe Deutsch into that duel. Lisbon will take on the winner of Central Cass and Northern Lights. We're going to go and step away here, get ready for our semifinal duel between the Lisbon Broncos and the winner of the Central Cass and Northern Lights. You'll find that on a separate stream here on yourliveevent.com.